In this module, I'd like to dive a little deeper into the verb to know, which is saber. How would you say, I want to know? Quiero saber. And how do you say where it is? ¿Dónde está? Now say, I want to know where it is. Quiero saber dónde está. I need to know where it is. Necesito saber dónde está. How would you say, I need to know where he is, and try to make the he explicit? Necesito saber dónde está él. Now do the same for her. So we want to say, I want to know where she is. Quiero saber dónde está ella. To express how he is, how she is, or how it is, it would be ¿Cómo está? Because está is standing for he is, she is, and it is. And of course, ¿cómo means how. So, ¿Cómo está? How is he? How is she? How is it? If we wanted to express how he is, and again, make it explicit, it would be ¿Cómo está él? How would you do the same thing now and say how she is? ¿Cómo está ella? Now say, I want to know how she is. Quiero saber cómo está ella. If we dig down and start to conjugate within the verb, for example, I know, the sound is simply sé. Sé. How would you say, I don't know? No sé. And frequently, native Spanish speakers will put it into it. In other words, they'll want to express I don't know, but what they will literally say is I don't know it. And the sound would be no lo sé. So you'll hear both being used, no sé or no lo sé. How would you say, I know where it is? Sé dónde está. I don't know where it is. No sé dónde está. I'm sorry, but I don't know where it is. Lo siento, pero no sé dónde está. How would you say, he is here? Está aquí. Now say, I don't know if he's here. No sé si está aquí. I know she's going to be here later. Sé que va a estar aquí más tarde. I don't know if they're going to be here. No sé si van a estar aquí. I know he wants to tell you something important tonight. Sé que quiere decirte algo importante esta noche. To express what it is would be ¿Qué es? How would you say, but I don't know what it is? Pero no sé qué es. Now let's try a longer one. I know he wants to tell you something important tonight, but I don't know what it is. Sé que quiere decirte algo importante esta noche, pero no sé qué es. I don't know if she can see us today. No sé si puede vernos hoy. I know they're going to call you tomorrow. Sé que van a llamarte mañana. What's the word for when? cuándo. How would you say, I don't know when? No sé cuándo. I don't know where. No sé dónde. What's the word for why? ¿Por qué? I don't know why. No sé por qué. I don't know why you can't tell me now. No sé por qué no puedes decirme ahora. I know why she doesn't want to be here. Sé por qué no quiere estar aquí. How would you say, it's very difficult? Es muy difícil. It's very difficult, and I don't know how they are going to do it. Es muy difícil y no sé cómo van a hacerlo. I want to know how they are going to do it. Quiero saber cómo van a hacerlo. I need to know when they're going to call me. Necesito saber cuándo van a llamarme. How do you say it's possible? Es posible. I don't know if it's possible today. No sé si es posible hoy. I don't know if it's possible to see her today. She's going to call me later. No sé si es posible verla hoy. Va a llamarme más tarde. How do you say, I have it? Lo tengo. He has it. Lo tiene. I don't know if he has it. No sé si lo tiene. Before finishing this lesson, I'd like to talk a little bit about the word that. Have a look at this slide. I know he's here versus I know that he's here. Now in English, we have the choice to put the word that in or to leave it out. The thing is that in Spanish, you can't do that. You don't have that choice. Whenever the word that is said or even just implied in English, you must put it in Spanish. So, I know he's here in Spanish must be I know that he's here. Sé que está aquí. Now, earlier in this lesson, we had another example of this. The phrase was, I know he wants to tell you something important. Here you can see that the word that is left out and it sounds perfectly natural in English. But we could also say, I know that he wants to tell you something important. Now, that is why we have the sé que. Quiere decirte algo importante. So this is something to be aware of. Sometimes you will see the word que appearing in the Spanish translations when it might not necessarily be present there in the English phrase. So this is what is happening. The word that is being implied. I know that he wants to tell you. Sé que quiere decirte. Obviously, this is something that happens a lot in English, the word that being left out. But remember, you can't do that in Spanish. You must put it in. In part 2, we're going to work with he knows, she knows, and it knows. The sound for all three of those in Spanish is sabe. Sabe. How would you say he knows where it is? Sabe dónde está. He doesn't know where it is. No sabe dónde está. The word for what is que. And what's the verb to do? Hacer. How would you say he doesn't know what to do? No sabe qué hacer. How do you say I have it? Lo tengo. How would you say she knows that I have it? Sabe que lo tengo. How do you say I need it? Lo necesito. She knows that I need it. Sabe que lo necesito. She knows that it's urgent and that I must have it today. Sabe que es urgente y que tengo que tenerlo hoy. The word for how is como. She knows how to do it. Sabe cómo hacerlo. She doesn't know how to tell you. No sabe cómo decirte. He knows that it's important for me. Sabe que es importante para mí. How would you say to be here? Estar aquí. He knows that he has to be here. Sabe que tiene que estar aquí. What's the verb to go out? Salir. How would you say she can't go out? No puede salir. She knows that she can't go out tonight. Sabe que no puede salir esta noche. Next, I'd like you to imagine a father, and he's looking at what his daughter intends to wear going out tonight. And he says to his wife or whoever, she knows that she can't go out like that. How would you say it? Sabe que no puede salir así. What's the word for where? Donde. And how would you say where I am? Donde estoy. She doesn't know where I am. No sabe donde estoy. The word for when is cuando. She doesn't know when. No sabe cuándo. He's going to be here, but she doesn't know when. Va a estar aquí, pero no sabe cuándo. Now, how would you say that making the he and she explicit? He's going to be here, but she doesn't know when. Él va a estar aquí, pero ella no sabe cuándo. To express something like she doesn't know where or when. So the word for or in Spanish is simply o. For example, how would you say Pablo or Maria? Pablo o Maria. Now, going back to our sentence, we had she doesn't know where or when. But in Spanish, what they would say is she doesn't know where nor when. And the word for nor is ni. Ni. So now, how would you say this? She doesn't know where or when, remembering that in Spanish they will say nor. No sabe dónde ni cuándo. Once again, how would you say I am here? Estoy aquí. He knows that I'm here. Sabe que estoy aquí. How would you say she doesn't know why? No sabe por qué. What's the verb to call? Llamar. And to call him or to call her? Llamarle. He knows that I'm going to call him this afternoon. Sabe que voy a llamarle esta tarde. She knows that I'm going to tell you. Sabe que voy a decirte. Again, how would you make that explicit? She knows that I'm going to tell you. Ella sabe que voy a decirte. How would you say he wants to know? Quiere saber. And he wants to know it. Quiere saberlo. To express how I am, meaning how I'm feeling, it would be ¿Cómo estoy? How would you say he wants to know how I am today? Quiere saber cómo estoy hoy. How do you say where I am? ¿Dónde estoy? She wants to know where I am. Quiere saber dónde estoy. How would you say where he is? ¿Dónde está? Of course, this could also mean where she is or where it is. Now say, she wants to know where he is. Quiere saber dónde está. She wants to know where Pablo is. Quiere saber dónde está Pablo. This would literally be, she wants to know where he is Pablo, or where is Pablo. So whenever you get a name, it just goes at the end. Quiere saber dónde está Pablo. Let's try it again. How would you say she wants to know where Pedro is? Quiere saber dónde está Pedro. Because she can't find him. Porque no puede encontrarlo. She wants to know where Pedro is because she can't find him. Quiere saber dónde está Pedro porque no puede encontrarlo. Let's switch it around and say, I want to know where Pedro is because I can't find him. Quiero saber dónde está Pedro porque no puedo encontrarlo. So here we are starting to dig deeper into the verb saber. What is the sound for I know? Se. And the sound for he knows, she knows, or it knows? Sabe. Welcome to part 3. To express you know in Spanish, we would simply take what we have for he, she, and it, which is sabe, and add an S onto that. So the sound becomes sabes. How would you say you know it? Lo sabes. You don't know it. No lo sabes. How would you ask, do you know where it is? ¿Sabes dónde está? Do you know how to do it? ¿Sabes cómo hacerlo? How would you say, you don't know where it is? No sabes dónde está. What about, you don't know what to do? No sabes qué hacer. The word for when is cuándo. How would you ask, do you know when? ¿Sabes cuándo? How do you say it's important? Es importante. Now say you know that it's important. Sabes que es importante. How do you say I need it? Lo necesito. You know that I need it. Sabes que lo necesito. I can't do it today. No puedo hacerlo hoy. You know that I can't do it today. Sabes que no puedo hacerlo hoy. How would you say, You don't know where or when. No sabes dónde ni cuándo. You know why. Sabes por qué. How do you say I'm here? Estoy aquí. Now say you know why I'm here today. Sabes por qué estoy aquí hoy. How would you say you know why I have to tell him? Sabes por qué tengo que decirle. You know that it's not possible. Sabes que no es posible. How would you say you know that I don't have it? Sabes que no lo tengo. How would you say she doesn't want it? No lo quiere. You know that she doesn't want it. Sabes que no lo quiere. Once again, let's go through our 3 key sounds. How do you say I know? Sé. He, she, or it knows. Sabe. You know. Sabes.